Hey everyone, it's Andrew Escobar here back with another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the GWC HU2SA0 USB 10-port hub. Alright, so that's just the brand and model number, but let me actually show you the device itself. This is just a 10-port hub essentially, but there's features to this hub that make it a better choice to use than other hubs. Okay, first off, this particular hub has over powerful protection, right? So I guess essentially, for me to explain that basically means that it will not provide too much power to any one device, and it will not overpower itself, because this is a self-sustaining power and an AC power, which means that yes, you can plug this up to your computer and just use the computer's power to power it. But if you do want to use all 10 hubs, or all 10 ports I should say, and you're using power intensive USB devices, it does include a AC power adapter to supply that extra power that you may need. So with all that in mind, let me give you a little bit of a close-up here of what this actually is. So it's got 6 ports on the front. You switch to the back, there is 4 ports. These 2 on the sides do in fact swivel up and down. So it does allow for some versatility. Over here on the far side, this is the power input, and then this is the actual USB input that actually goes to your computer. Now, it's relatively sleek. It's a nice design, glossy black. However, fingerprints and everything do show up quite easily on it, although that's not really that big of an issue. When you do have it plugged into the USB or a power or both, this strip right here will shine blue. It has a little LED in there that indicates that it is in fact plugged in one way or the other. So, with all that in mind, let me show you what also comes with this 10-port hub. Now, putting down the hub, we have what is essentially 2 wires. This is the power, and let me get a close up for you on that. This plugs into any AC outlet in your home, and then this plugs into the actual device. So, grabbing the device, let me show you one thing that I do not like about this. Okay, so right here is where it goes in. So, trying to get you a view here. Huzzah, it's in. Now it stays in, it's taut, it's connect, but I'm not sure you can see this. It does stick out a little bit. It doesn't go in all the way like you would think a good quality device would plug all the way in to have that nice firm kind of feel connection. It stays in, but it's just something that kind of bugs me. I paid $26 for this. I expect it to be a good product, and I expect excellence out of it if I'm going to be paying that much for a USB hub. So they do come more expensive, but that is a relatively decent or high price to be paying for just an accessory like this. So moving aside, let's take the power plug out and let's go to the other plug. This is what you use to plug it into the computer. So over here, standard USB plug. It's a double male. This is a mini USB, not to be confused with micro USB. This mini USB plugs directly into this port right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this plug actually fits in correctly all the way. It feels like it should. It goes in like it should. And, it's the wire itself. Let me give you a bit of a span here. This is as big as the wire gets. So a lot of people will complain that it is too short. In retrospect, I wish I had brought a measuring tape, but I'm assuming that this is about anywhere from 2 to 3 feet long, probably like more closer to the 3 foot long area. So not a very big cord at all. For my purposes, it does get the job done. So, But let me move on to some more critical information about this specific USB hub. Okay, I will say this. It is a good, sturdy USB hub. It does, in fact, work. However, I have been experiencing some issues with some devices that get plugged into this thing. On a Windows Vista computer, everything works fine. But when I tested it on my brand new Acer laptop, which runs Windows 7 64-bit Home Premium, I noticed there were some issues. For instance, I normally have a flash drive that I carry with me at all times. It'd be this one right here. I would plug it into said USB port, and Windows would recognize that something just got plugged in, but then it would say it's an unknown device and cannot read it and doesn't know how to work with it, right? So it causes issues because it leads me to realize that some devices, in some cases, will not work with this USB hub on certain operating systems and certain computers. So this is what I did try and troubleshoot my problem, all right? I plug the flash drive directly into the computer, it works. I plug it into the USB hub, does not work. So I decided I'll see if it's the hub or the computer. I plugged it into a Vista laptop running Vista Home Premium 32-bit, and Windows recognized the flash drive in the hub. So I know it's not the hub that's the problem. So then I decided I will plug it into my 64-bit Windows 7 Ultimate desktop to see if that works. And in fact, it did detect the USB flash drive. So, in conclusion, the hub works fine, but in some cases, the hub will not work correctly on certain computers. Why that is, I really don't know. I've been searching for hours on the internet for a solution to why this problem is happening. I did get it at one point to recognize the USB device and work, but it was this one time, it was a fluke, and I can't figure out why. So when it comes to computers, I do know what I'm talking about. I do IT work and I fix computers all the time. It is my job. It is my job to diagnose, fix, and build computers. That is what I've been doing for a number of years now. And the fact that this thing is baffling me is kind of concerning. So I thought I would bring up my concern with this device to you guys. Know that it is, in fact, a good quality product, but also know that in rare cases, it may not work all the way. However, I have plugged many other devices into this hub, all the hubs, and they work flawlessly. I have plugged at the same time in a USB Audio-Technica AT2020 condenser mic, which is power hungry, and that worked fine. I plugged in a Logitech C310 HD webcam with the mic, and that worked fine. They worked all in conjunction together. I plugged in a wireless USB keyboard and mouse with all that stuff already in, and that worked fine. I plugged in another memory card reading device, that worked fine. So I have plugged multiple devices into this all at the same time, and they do work together in conjunction, all as one, into this port, all at the same time, and there's no problems. However, for certain devices, it doesn't seem to want to recognize it. Once again, it's not the hub's fault, it's the computer's fault. So, and all the things that I said that I just plugged this into, that was on the laptop that I'm talking about that has the problem reading this. So, keep in mind that it will most likely work, but if it doesn't work, it's probably not the hub, it's probably your computer. So, putting all that aside, there's not too much else to this. Some people do not like the blue LED. They think it's cheesy. I think it's nice to indicate that it's actually connected. So, I did get this on Newegg, and it did cost me like 26 bucks, free shipping. And I debate to myself, is it worth it? I don't know yet, okay? It is a decent amount of money. You can get generic 10-port hubs that are for like 10 bucks on eBay. This was over twice that price. So, Only time will tell if this is actually worth my investment. I think it might be, because what I originally got this for is I use my computer for gaming emulation for older games, and you know, I plan to hook up USB controllers to this thing. Yeah, so you know, I think it'll work. It's just certain memory devices, and I tried a few other memory devices. It seems to be specifically devices involving some sort of flash memory that doesn't seem to want to recognize on this hub on my computer. But once again, you shouldn't have to worry about that. I don't think it'll be a problem for you guys. So let me just give you a little bit of a close-up once more. There's the 6 on that side, the 4 on that side, and the 2 data and power. This does in fact flip up, as well as this. So, and if you see right here, there's some information for you. And this does go up to a full 480 megabits per second, not megabytes, megabits. And that is the maximum data flow that a USB will allow, and it does go up to that for whatever case you need it to be. And overall, yeah, I say if you're looking for a 10-port, get it. Here's the thing. You definitely want to get this one over a generic one. This does in fact have features about it that makes it safer to use this than other generic ones, which is why it's more expensive, and which is why I chose this over a generic China, just random one. This is quality. So with that said, thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, rate, subscribe, show your friends, all that good jazz, and hope you enjoyed the review.